Hello friends, in this session I explain block cipher techniques. Block cipher is an encryption and decryption method which operates on the block of plain text. Instead of operating on each bit of plain text separately, each block is of equal size and has fixed number of bits. The generated cipher text has block equals to the number of blocks in plain text and also has the same number of bits in each block of plain text. Block cipher use the same key for encryption and decryption. In this session, I discuss the definition of block cipher. It will help how the block cipher works. Then after, the design principle of block cipher and modes of operation of block cipher. So I start this session with the help of the definition of block cipher. So block cipher takes a message and break it into a fixed size of blocks and converts one block of the message at an instance. For example, we have a message in plain text, street by street, required to be encrypted. Using block cipher, street must be encrypted at first, followed by, and finally at last street. In actual practice, communication take place only in bits. Therefore, street actually means the binary equivalent of ASCII character of street. Subsequently, any algorithm encrypt the resultant bits are transformed block into their ASCII equivalent. An evident problem regarding the uses of block cipher is repeating text for which the same cipher is generated. Hence, it would give a hint to the crypt analysis which make it is easier to figure out the recurring string of plain text. As a result, it can revel at the whole message. To overcome from this problem, the chaining mode is used. In this technique, the preceding block of ciphertext is mixed with the current block. So, as to the ciphertext used, this avoids the recurring patterns of blocks with the same content. Now, I explain the definition of stream cipher. So the stream cipher typically encrypt one byte of the message at the moment instead of using blocks. Let's take an example. Suppose the original message plain text is blue sky. In ASCII, or we can say in text format, when you convert this ASCII value into equivalent binary values, it will give the output in zeros and ones format. Let it be translated in ASCII value. So it would like 010111001. For encryption and decryption, a pseudo-random bits generate is used in which a key and plain text are loaded. A pseudo-random bits creates a string of 8-bit numbers that are seemingly random known as key string. Let the input key is 100101011. Now, the key and plain text are XOR, like here. The XOR logic is simple to understand. XOR produce an output of 1 when one input is 0 and then others is 1. The output is 0 if either both the inputs are 0 or both the input are 1. Confusion is a method which generates the ciphertext, gives no clue about the original plain text. And diffusion is a strategy used to enhance the redundancy of plain text by spreading it across row and column. So here I explain the basic definitions of block cipher and stream cipher. Now I explain key difference between block cipher and stream cipher. First is block cipher techniques involves encryption of one block of text at a time, or we can say singly. Similarly, decrypt the text by taking one block after another. In contrast, stream cipher techniques involves encryption and decryption of one byte of the text at a time. Next is block cipher use both confusion and diffusion, while stream cipher relies only on confusion. Next one is the usual size of the block could be 64 or 128 bits in the block cipher, as against 1 byte is 8 bits at a time is converted in the stream cipher. Next is block cipher use ECB means electronic code block and CBC means cipher block chaining algorithm modes. On the contrary, stream cipher use CFB means cipher feedback and OFB means output feedback algorithm modes. Stream cipher use XOR function for converting the plain text into ciphertext. That is reason why it is easy to reverse the XOR bits, whereas block cipher does not use XOR for doing so. Next is block cipher use the same key to encrypt each block, while stream cipher use different key for each byte. So conclusion is block cipher and stream cipher differ in the way in which plain text is encrypted and decrypted. The idea behind block cipher is to divide the plain text into blocks, further encrypt those blocks, while stream cipher convert plain text bit by bit similar to stream. So I hope you can understand the difference between stream cipher and block cipher. Now I explain block cipher principle. A block cipher is designed by considering its three critical aspects which are listed here. First one is number of random or rounds. Next is design of function f. Next is e-schedule algorithm. I explain this critical aspect one by one. So first one is number of rounds. The number of rounds judges the strength of the block cipher algorithm. It is considered that more is the number of round difficult is for cryptanalysis to break the algorithm. It is considered that even if the function f is relatively weak, the number of rounds would make the algorithm tough to break it. So next one is design of function f criteria. In this, the function f of the block cipher must be designed such that it must be impossible for any cryptanalysis to inscrutable to substitution. So the criteria that strength the function f is it non-linearity. More the function f is non-linear, more it would be difficult to crack it. Well, while designing the function f, it should be confirmed that it has a good properties which state that a change in one byte of input must reflect the change in many bytes of outputs. So, the function f should be designed such that it processes a bit independence criteria which state the output bits must change independently if there is any change in the input bit. Now, third criteria is key schedule algorithm, in which it is suggested that the key schedule should conform the strict avalanche effect and bit independence criteria. So now I explain block cipher modes of operations. There are 5 important block cipher modes of operation defined by NIST. These 5 modes of operation enhance the algorithm so that it can be adapted by a wide range of applications which use block cipher for encryption. So first mode is electronic code book mode. Next one is cipher block chaining mode. Next is cipher feedback mode. Next one is output feedback mode. Next is counter mode. I explain this mode of operation one by one. So first one is electronic feedback mode. This is considered to be the easiest block cipher mode of operation. In electronic codebook mode, or we can say ECB, the plain text is divided into the blocks, each of 64 bits. Each block is encrypted one at a time to produce the cipher block. The same key is used to encrypt each block. When the receiver the message, or we can say a cipher text, this cipher text is again divided into blocks, each of 64 bits, and encrypt block is decrypted independently, one at a time to obtain the corresponding plain text block. Here also the same key is used to decrypt each block which has used to encrypt each block. As the same key used to encrypt each block of plain text, there areas an issue that for a repeating plain text block, it would generate the same cipher and will easy to crypt analysis to crack the algorithms. Hence, ECB is considered for encrypting the small message, which has rare possibility of repeating text. Now, I explain the next mode is cipher block chaining mode. To overcome the limitation of ECB, or we can say the repeating block in plain text procedure, the same cipher text, a new technique was required, which is cipher block chaining, or we can say CBC mode. In CBC, confirms that even if the plain text has repeating blocks, it encrypt or encryption wouldn't produce same cipher block. To achieve totally different cipher blocks for two same plain text blocks, chaining has been added to the block cipher. For this, the result obtained from the encryption of the first plain text block is fed to encryption of the next plain text box. In this way, each cipher text block obtained is dependent on its corresponding current plain text block input, and all the previous plaintext blocks. But during the encryption of first plaintext block, no previous plaintext block is available. So a random block of text is generated called initialization of vectors. Now let's discuss the encryption steps of CBC. Now in step 1, in these steps, the initialization vector and first plaintext block are XOR, and result of XOR is then encrypted using key to obtain the first ciphertext block. The first ciphertext block is fed to encryption of the second plaintext block. For the encryption of second plaintext block, first ciphertext block and second plaintext block is XOR, and the result of XOR is encrypted using the same key in step number 1 to obtain the second ciphertext block. Similarly, the result is encryption of second plaintext block, or we can say second ciphertext block is fed to encryption to third plaintext block to obtain third ciphertext block, and the process continue to obtain all the ciphertext blocks. Now I explain the decryption step of ciphertext mode. In step 1, the first ciphertext block is decrypted using same key that was used for encrypting all plaintext blocks. The results of decryption is then XOR with the initialization vector to obtain the first plaintext block. In step 2, the second ciphertext block is decrypted, and result of decryption is XOR with the first ciphertext block to obtain the second plaintext block, and the process continue till all the plaintext block and retrieve it. So there was a limitation in CBC that if we have two identical message and if we have the same initialization vector for both the identical message, it would generate the same ciphertext block. Now I explain cipher feedback mode. All applications may not be designed to operate on the blocks of data. Some may be character or bit oriented. Cipher feedback mode is used to operate on smaller unit than blocks. Let's discuss the encryption steps in cipher feedback mode. In step 1, here also we use initialization vector IV is kept in the shift register and it encrypted using key. In step 2, the leftmost S bit of the encrypted IV is then XOR with the first fragment of the plain text of S bit. It produced the first ciphertext C1 of S bit. In step number 3, now the shift register containing initialization vector perform left shift S bit and S bit C1 replace the rightmost S bit of the initialization vector. Then again the encryption is performed on IV and leftmost S bit of encrypted IV is XORed with the second fragmentation of plain text to obtain S-bit ciphertext C2. So the process continues to obtain all ciphertext fragments. Now I explain decryption steps or process in cipher feedback mode. In this step 1, the initialization vector is placed in the left or in shift register. It encrypts using the same key. Keep a note that even in the decryption process, the encryption algorithm is implemented instead of decryption algorithm. Then from the encrypted IV, S bit are XOR with the S bit ciphertext C1 to retrieve S bit plain text P1. So then the IV in the shift register is left shifted by S bits and the S bit C1 replaces the rightmost S bit of I1. The process continues until all the plain text fragments are retrieved. It has a limitation that if there occurs a bit error in any ciphertext CI, it would affect all the subsequent ciphertext units as a CI is fed to encryption of next PI plus 1 to obtain CI plus 1, like this way. So in this way, bit error would propagate. Now I explain output feedback mode. The output feedback or OFB mode is almost similar to CFB. The difference between CFB and OFB is that unlike CFB, in OFB, the encrypted initialization vector, or we can say IV, is fed to encryption of next plain text block. Then other difference is that CFB operates on a stream of bits, whereas OFB operates on block of bits. Now I explain process of encryptions. So in step 1, the initialization vector is encrypted using key. The encrypted IV is XOR with plain text block to obtain the ciphertext block. The encrypted IV is fed to encryption of next plain text block, as you can see in the image. So this way encryption process is done. Now I explain decryption process. So in this, the initialization vector is encrypted using same key used for encrypting all plain text block. Note here, in the decryption process, also the encryption function is implemented. In step 2, the encrypted IV is then XOR with the cipher text block to retrieve the plain text block here. So the encrypted IV is also fed to the decryption process of the next ciphertext block. The process continues until all the plain text blocks are retrieved. The advantage of OFB is that it protects the propagation of bit error. Means if there occurs a bit error in C1, it will only affect the retrieval of P1 and would not affect the retrieval of subsequent plain text block. Now I explain counter mode. It is similar to OFB, but there is no feedback mechanism in counter mode. Nothing is being fed from the previous step to the next step. Instead, it uses a sequence of number which is turned as a counter, which is input to the encryption function along with the key. After a plain text block is encrypted, the counter value increment by 1. Now I explain process of encryptions. In step 1, counter value is encrypted using a key. In next steps, the encrypted counter value is XOR with the plaintext block to obtain a ciphertext block. To encrypt the next subsequent plaintext block, the counter value is increment by 1 and step 1 and 2 are repeated to obtain the corresponding ciphertext block. The process continues until all the plaintext block is encrypted. So now I explain the process of decryption. The counter value is encrypted using key. Remember one thing, encryption function is used in the decryption process. The same counter value are used for decryption as used while encryption. So in next step, the encryption counter value is XOR with the ciphertext block to obtain plaintext block. To decrypt the next subsequent ciphertext block, the counter value is increment by 1 and step 1 and 2 are repeated to obtain corresponding plaintext. The process continues until all ciphertext block is decrypted. So this is all about block cipher, its designs, principle and its mode of operations. So thank you friends watching this video. I hope you can understand the principle and its modes of block cipher operations. Thank you.